Hey, it's Romy. Thank you so much for tuning into my channel. I really appreciate it. Please make sure you subscribe if you haven't already. Virgo, this is your April 2020 reading. So if you are a Virgo sun, rising or moon, it may resonate for you. It is a general. If you're enjoying it and you want to continue, you can purchase the extended reading. The link for that is in the description box below, which helps to support my work and the channel. And you can also find me on Instagram, Facebook, and over on my website, which is romywyser.com for personal readings. Let's go ahead and see what's coming out in April for you, Virgo. Okay, Virgo, so Aries season is 8th house energy for you, which is an incredibly powerful and intense energy to be working with, particularly with the backdrop of what we are all dealing with at the moment collectively. So this is affording you such a profound opportunity to allow some deeper soul work to happen and a true sense of transformation to come through. And actually opening up your reading with the sun energy, I think, is reminding you that there is many positive aspects to what is going to be unfolding for you in April, even if on the surface it doesn't necessarily feel that way straight away for you. I think in hindsight you're going to look back and recognize the importance of this particular cycle in your life and how it has helped to change, allow for this metamorphosis to take place, allow for you to reconnect to yourself, to your inner child, to the things that really matter, to what makes you feel positive and uplifted. It's, you know, making this very clear focus for you to come into absolute crystal clear clarity about what matters. And I think that what will come out of that is a complete change of priorities for you in many regards, Virgo, and that's going to be something that you will celebrate as we move forward through the next coming weeks and months. The sun, of course, indicating a very Leo energy, and I think some of the qualities that we can take from the sense of courage, the sense of heart and passion, that nod to being with family, to connecting with children, just helping to remind us about, you know, what is truly precious in life right now. On the 3rd, we've got Venus moving into the sign of Gemini, so into an air sign, a fellow mutable Mercury ruled sign. I think this is really going to help you to keep things a little bit lighter and to find those positive aspects. 6 of Swords, of course, will represent for many the emotional distance, the physical distance that you're feeling from perhaps many loved ones, family members, or people who you ordinarily connect with or who feel like soul family to you. But remember, in and of itself, this is a month where you're really going to have a rite of passage. You know, 8th house does ask us to kind of do that very deep Scorpio work where we're, you know, facing some of that shadow aspect of self to allow some kind of shedding and rebirth to take place. And, you know, the 6 of Swords is also reminding us that we're moving away from troubled waters. We're coming into the clear crystal clarity of that peaceful shore that's up out ahead. So, you know, we're leaving the worst behind us, but what we're taking with us is really precious. So through that kind of reevaluation of what matters, when we come out of the other side of this, the 6 of Swords is going to show us how much that journey has changed and impacted, you know, what we want to now focus on, who we want to be around, what truly matters to us. So I think it's just going to give you the opportunity to see this journey in many regards as a really positive opportunity for your own spiritual evolution, you know. On the 4th, we've got a conjunct between Pluto and Jupiter. This is the first of 3 happening in 2020. The second on June 30th and then again on November 12th. So the energy that comes up in and around this time, we are going to be dealing with and revisiting. This is in your 5th house of creativity, of children, of romance. And I think it is another opportunity for you to deal with some of the, you know, powerful kind of karmic patternings that's coming up, and really to explore a way to be different. You know, the implications of this far reaching. So the choices and decisions, the way that you are communicating, the way you're expressing yourself, the way that you want to reach out, really important, even in times of being distant. You know, it's how you are managing to maintain that sense of connection. You know, Page of Swords coming through, very linked into air signs, of course, Gemini, Libra and Aquarius. But for me, it's about your commitment to being curious about how you can change, how you can mix things up, how you can explore a different way of being, a different way of doing, that there are new ideas, new solutions to take on board. Perhaps there is inspiration that you can find, or people that you want to listen to that have an alternative perspective. I see that there is a need for you to kind of open your mind up, and if you allow that to happen, what you're going to see coming through in terms of the communication, I feel, is going to really like deliver this warmth that's coming through from that sun energy. You know, there is a kind of radiant sense of compassion that comes up, and I think you want to keep connected. You know, this is a time, even if you are feeling isolated, that I think you're going to be doing the work, but also very cognizant of your need to want to keep regular and kind of explorative communication with people that you know and people that you don't. You know, this is about you exploring different types of energy, different types of community. We have a full moon in Libra on the 7th of April, and that is in your second house of value. Queen of Pentacles coming up here, just with a nod to that work aspect, where we derive, where we put our focus in terms of material possession, our own sense of value, like how we perceive our sense of worth in the world. And I think for many of you, you'll be reevaluating that as you find yourself perhaps stripped of many of the things that defined you for a long time. And so without all of that external validation or those particular reflections, it's giving you the chance to do some of that deeper inner work to rebalance how you perceive yourself, where that inner sense of security and stability actually comes from, so that you can in many ways find some healing. You know, a full moon in Libra is about bringing balance back into your world, bringing peace to yourself and the relationships in your life, helping you to make healthier choices and decisions. And if it's in that sense of value house, it's about, you know, how can I attribute the way that I see what I have to offer the world, you know, to feel better about myself, to have more self-respect, more self-appreciation, more self-love. And I think the Queen of Pentacles is inviting you to consider things from that approach. And so what can come out of this time in April for you, Virgo, is a stronger sense of self, which then you can apply back into work and purpose as you go. So this isn't a month when you completely lose focus on anything external. In fact, and I would encourage you not to do so, because actually underneath the sun, what we're seeing is some real positive advancement in and around anything to do with work or projects or purpose. And the Queen of Pentacles is inviting you to keep busy and to keep doing in that way. But I also think it's important we don't skip this inner work that Aries season is asking of you, because a healthier, more unified, more balanced sense of who you are and what you know your worth to be, it's that phrase, I am enough. You know, the work that you're going to do in April in and around that, Virgo, I think is going to be incredibly transformative in the way that you then sort of, when we all step back into the light, so to speak, and we come back together, it's going to impact on the way that you are in terms of relationships, the way that you act within family dynamics, within your workplace, and just how you show up in the world. That's the opportunity to then tap into that collective consciousness and to really have allowed the change to take place. You know, remember, Saturn moving through Capricorn the last couple of years was teaching you so much about that aspect of your chart and how you fall in love with life, how you allow that sense of romance within yourself, how you allow creativity to flow, how you connect into your children. And you know, as we move into Aquarius, Saturn in Aquarius right now, it's all about 6th house. It's ruled by Virgo, of course. So this is about the way that you want to be of service now, but also the value you put on yourself. So this is the time when we're going to be implementing so much of that learning. 3 of Cups coming in, talking to me about this sense of community. How do you stay connected? I think for many, maybe there's a little worry and a little anxiousness. I think of many of the signs, you're really okay to be on your own. You have the capacity to be able to kind of shut down and withdraw and sort of just anchor in and, you know, be that really grounded, earthy vibe that can kind of deal with it. But you are being invited with Page of Swords and 3 of Cups to deal with this differently, to have a different approach, to say, you know, how can I stay connected even in times where I may be cut off or switched off in you know, more physical terms. I think you may well have some third-party situations that you're dealing with. Okay, we've got Queen of Pentacles coming up. We've also got an air sign. So for some of you, you might have been going through or are still going through a situation that involves choice or the consideration of 2 different parties, whether it be personally or professionally. Again, I think some distance from that situation is going to help bring a little bit more clarity through for you and help you to have some clear thinking. And I think that's going to serve you really well. So not a time to have to make rush decisions through this month, I feel, for you. And as we hit the 11th, Mercury is moving into the sign of Aries. Tendency for us to be a little impulsive, but again, your sign, Virgo, coming out in the Knight of Pentacles, pulling you back a little bit so that it ensures that you're being still measured, consistent and thoughtful in how you're acting, what you're saying, what you're doing, okay? But I still feel like lines of communication are open, but you're remaining very focused. I think for some of you, this is actually going to be an incredibly productive time to be working on something that really matters to you, that you really have heart with. And the sense of celebration that comes in a little bit with the 3 of Cups as well, I feel that, you know, people are going to be interested in what you have to say and what you are creating, what you are putting out there, and that you know, you have an opportunity through networking, through, you know, community, to actually link into new people who perhaps are more on a level, more on a vibe in terms of what you want to be involved in or what your outlook is. So I think there's a lot of positivity that's set to come forward for you with that regard as well. And as we move into Taurus season on the 19th, into your 9th house, you're starting to look at the horizon, you're looking down the line, taking that learning and starting to think about new adventures and how you want to be changing your life, you know, and moving forward. Now, 8 of Swords is coming in, I think, as a reminder that you have a choice. You know, and this came up a little bit with the Leo reading as well. You have a choice in which side of the coin you want to move forward through April. You know, there is a lot of positivity, there is a lot of opportunity, there is the chance for you to reconnect, to reconcile, and to really find some peace and some productivity. There is also the chance that if you're not careful and you're tuned into the wrong channel, Virgo, you're going to end up feeling in a very anxious, stressed out state, you know. Perhaps allowing the sense of limitation, sanction or restriction to just weigh very, very heavy on you. And that could activate like deeper wound energy perhaps as we move through 8th house, which does ask us to do quite a lot of that deeper subconscious work, you know, to look at those secret parts of ourselves that we don't really want to acknowledge. So a little bit of the avoidance energy coming back around to kind of be dealt with. And for those of you that want to ignore, that want to, you know, or tap into that kind of lower negative fear-based way of thinking, it could be quite challenging to find the light in this month. It really could. And, you know, it's important that each and every day, the more present you can become, the more you can focus on practical, you know, almost consistent, methodical rituals that you put in place to keep you going, looking at your routine, looking at the creation of new ideas, new ways of thinking, making sure that you keep the contact. That's what's going to stop that high level of stress kind of infiltrating and feeling like it's taking over. Now, if you do have this third party situation, which we indicated, perhaps another earth sign or somebody that's very focused in and around finances right now, somebody who is particularly interested in making sure that there is no sense of loss from their current position, their sense of security. So even if it's not financial, it's about their standing or their position within your life. So just be careful there's not any kind of emotional manipulation that's going on that's leading you to that sense of uncertainty, or, you know, pushing you into that fear-based energy. And, you know, this can work on either side. Just be mindful about the way that you're communicating and talking to people too, Virgo. So we have a lot of earth energy in this reading for you this month. So Page of Pentacles coming in. Again, talking to me about the fact that there are offers on the horizon, you know, so don't lose momentum with things is what I want to say. And if this month has really given you cause to have a complete change of heart in terms of career or direction, there is new opportunities that are coming in and they look really positive for you. You know, the radiance of the sun coming through, cherry blossom indicating the aspect of renewal, all of this green and gold showing the abundance. For me, you know, make sure you're listening. You have your ear to the ground is what this page is telling me today. Have your ear to the ground and you're going to pick up on the whispers, on the kind of nuances of energy. Things just, you know, remember in Aries season, it's about the seeds that are being planted. So this is something that's maybe not come to full fruition yet, but you might get a new idea or somebody comes to you with a new idea. Pay close attention, you know. You can make hay while the sun shines, and this is absolutely not in any kind of a way exploitative. This is about you gaining opportunity to advance yourself and have growth within where you stand, and to look at the ways in which you can be of service to yourself and others. But I think there's some really interesting new opportunities that absolutely fiscally will be positive for you moving forward as well. So I'm kind of, even though we have a little bit of that stress energy going on, I feel quite positive that all of this earth energy is kind of anchoring you right throughout the month of April, Virgo, and I don't think you're going to lose your way. You are journeying, which I like. We have the horse, we have the boat moving forward, we have the horse moving forward, very focused. Even the direction in which the Page of Pentacles, and if you think about it like this, she's also turned away from that stress state of the Eight of Swords. So the way through that is either to move away from whoever this represents, if it's a person, or if it's a state of mind, again, to focus yourself back into what you can do from a practical work perspective. That's what's really going to serve you. Perhaps there's some new learning that can come in as a result of this. The pages are bringing in a lot of communication through April, a lot of messages incoming for you, Virgo, and I think many of them are indicating some very positive opportunities on the horizon, and the opportunity from a relationship perspective to have renewal, to have a new beginning, another earth energy coming through, Ace of Pentacles. I love this for you because it's talking about not only more abundance set to come in, but there's like a sense of health and wellness that I get with this particular card today. So your vitality, and maybe it's just because you're going to have the time to kind of give yourself a bit more self-care right now. And okay, this might not apply to everybody, because I know there's a lot of people still out there working incredibly hard and double the hours. But for many of you, I think the focus and the time and attention that you'll be able to give to yourself, you know, perhaps a readjustment in terms of like how you're eating, how you're nourishing yourself, what you're using in terms of products, becoming more eco-conscious, becoming more aware. And if we think about the transit that, you know, Saturn is now into Aquarius for the next couple of years, and okay, we'll dip back into Capricorn later this year, but in your 6th house, it's all about, you know, really taking care of yourself, really taking care of your health. So there's going to be a very sharp focus on it for the month of April, but that's going to serve you incredibly well. There is also like a helping hand coming through for you here, Virgo, out of the blue, so to speak, is what I feel. But all of the tendrils that are coming from this show me that this is something that has longevity to it. So like I said, if there's something that is presented, an offer that comes your way, an invitation, perhaps the opportunity to connect with somebody new from a relationship perspective, although it's built very firmly on a friendship or on a kind of solid foundation with that earth energy, look at all the growth and the bloom and the color that's coming through here. It's almost offering you a bridge over troubled water. That's the song I get, a bridge over troubled water, okay? So there is something that's coming in to lift your spirits and to give you cause to really celebrate. You know, you've got that sun energy. This is a reset where you want it to be. This is a time of renewal where you seek it, okay? But regardless, the opportunity for that sense of transformation within self is what's really going to serve you through this Aries season. Okay, let's go ahead and pull a couple of oracle cards and see how they are reflecting the reading for you, Virgo. I love these cards. Okay, so we have kindred spirits, spirit companions, guides, comfort. Okay, a couple of things I'm going to say. First of all, I think it's really a similar, you know, this log looks like a bridge almost over the water, and she sat here. And then again, we have the bridge over the water with the people here. So a couple of things here. One, I think that the protection and the fact that your own guides and spirit are around you very close through April indicates to me that you're going to get some very strong signs coming up. Very, very strong signs indeed from spirit that I want you to pay attention to. The second thing is, though, that I think it is really important in your reassessment and your evaluation of where you're at, where you want to be, particularly around that full moon in Libra. Remember the house of value, just a complete sense of like, what is my work-life balance? You know, where do I prioritize myself? Is giving you the chance to connect or reconnect with people that are maybe allowing you to be this new evolved version of yourself, right? There's like a spiritual evolution taking place, and you seeking out and wanting to connect with those that have been on a similar journey or who feel good to you. They feel like home, they feel comfortable, they're part of your soul family. You know, the candles lit in the background here, like representing like the fact that you can light up the lives of others when you feel connected. You're not isolated and alone. You know, there's a tremendous sense of comfort that comes in with this card that I really love for you. Okay, so this is our astrological cards. Our next new moon is on the 22nd in April, so in the sign of Taurus, fellow earth sign for you, so you'll be very comfortable with the energy coming in there with 9th house. Oh, I like this for you. Sun in Leo, a time of celebration and success. And I think a little bit of a nod to that card of the sun, which is also ruled by Leo. So perhaps a Leo being very important through this month of April to you as well, in terms of something to feel a sense of joy or positivity around. If we think about the warmth, the heart, the courage, the passion and the compassion that comes from a Leo sign, I think this is what you're being invited to tap into, to recognize the success. You know, perhaps for many this is a time where you can really stop and take stock of how far you've come in any particular aspect of your life, and to really give praise and to be proud of yourself for that, but also to now use that time to say, okay, what comes next, and am I still moving in the direction that I want to? And maybe that sun in Leo is going to give you the courage to be able to make those powerful life changes, choices and decisions that are right for you, but definitely bringing in energy. So again, that nod to health and wellness, you are going to feel more energized than you have for some time if you are focused on really taking care of yourself in a new way, Virgo. Okay, thank you so much. I hope that's given you some insight for your month of April. If you'd like to join me for the extended reading, it's about another 20 minutes or so. I would like you to think of a question right now, if it has not come up in our main card spread. And I'm going to go ahead and pull a couple of cards specific for your question. So just think about that now for me, Virgo. Okay. And if you'd like to join me for the extended, you can find the link in the description box below, or you can head over to my website, romywyser.com, and you'll find the YouTube link there. Okay, so let's do some clarifying cards for these to give us a little bit deeper insight into where the reading is going to take us. So for the Sun energy, we have a Death card coming up. Another major arcana, Knight of Swords with the Six of Swords. King of Wands wanted to come there as well. Okay. The Devil with the Page of Swords. Could be a Capricorn energy there. I'm going to pull one more for that. Actually, oh, Page of Swords again. Interesting. Okay. Maybe a little bit of obsessive tendencies going on. Hierophant there with the Queen of Pentacles. Could be a Taurus energy that you've got here. Yeah, just being mindful of where your mindset's at, or perhaps somebody else kind of moving into that type of energy. Four of Swords with the Three of Cups. Empress energy. Knight of Pentacles, Knight of Cups. There's offers coming in for you, Virgo. Three of Wands. Ten of Wands coming in with that Page of Pentacles. Okay. Ten of Pentacles and High Priestess. I'm just going to take all of those cards there. And let's just see what that Ace of Pentacles is giving us. Five of Wands. Queen of Swords, okay. Another Six of Swords here and Ten of Swords. Okay, Virgo, if you'd like to join me for the extended, I look forward to continuing this conversation when we'll go a bit more in depth into some of the people that have started to show up in this reading here as well, and deliver some more messages. But otherwise, thank you so much. If you've enjoyed it, please drop me a like and a comment. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel so you don't miss out on any further notifications, and stay safe, and sending you lots of soul soothing for this month of April. Take care. Bye bye.